Hi everyone, my name is Jessie Houghton and I am a product manager on Visual Studio. I'm excited to continue on the Visual Studio for Beginners series with you, and we're going to be looking at how to install Visual Studio. Let me go ahead and open my favorite web browser and type in visualstudio.microsoft.com. This is going to take you to the homepage for Visual Studio that not only has all of the download links that you might need for all of our IDEs, but also you can catch up on any brand new news or new features that we have that you might want to try out. Let me go ahead and scroll down to the Visual Studio option, and I'll go ahead and download Community. Community is available for free for individuals and students, and that's what we'll be using today. I'll actually be using Preview, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But you'll notice that I have a couple different setups installed because I've run this before, and I want to make sure that we have that we're not waiting on any installation. So when you install Visual Studio, you're going to get a permission screen that's going to ask if it can install the Visual Studio installer. The installer manages all of your different versions of Visual Studio, and those might be like what you see on screen, Community versus Preview. Preview being a kind of beta platform where you can get the latest access to new and in-progress features, and you can engage with us, especially on developer community, to let us know what you think as you work on those, as you try those features out while the team is working on them. So Preview is pretty cool. That's what we'll be using today, so I can have .NET 8 in my demo. And then other reasons why you might have multiple versions of Visual Studio is you might have 2019 installed next to 2022, or you might have the professional or enterprise versions depending on your company. So once you have that all installed, you'll have the option to choose your workloads. This allows you to specify the different projects that you might want to create using Visual Studio. I already have the .NET desktop development one installed. And so if you want to follow along, that's the one that I'm working with. While you're waiting for everything to install and boot up, I would totally suggest you check out the developer news. This is always going to refresh with all of the latest blog posts on the Visual Studio blog page. And you can check out all the recent features, all of the different explorations different teams are doing to show the best way to use some of those new features as well. Definitely worth checking out. And then another place that's worth checking out is the Visual Studio YouTube page. It's got tons of in-depth videos about almost everything to do with Visual Studio. So if you've been following along in this series and you want to learn more, that's a really great place to check out. All right. Hopefully by this time, you're a good way into your installation. I'll go ahead and launch Preview here. And it's going to ask me to sign into Visual Studio. Like it says, it allows me to sync across devices, collaborate in real time. That's that live share feature, and integrate seamlessly with Azure services as well as GitHub services, depending on what accounts you have attached. Let me go ahead and sign in, and I'll go ahead and select my work account. And you'll see how it's carried some of my customizations over to make sure everything in Visual Studio is kind of as I left it the last time I was working on it. Let me quickly go ahead and change my theme to the blue theme because it makes it a little bit easier to see. And you'll be greeted by the What's New page. This is a great way to learn more about the latest and greatest features, especially when you're using Preview. There's a ton of different features available on this page. And if you click on them, they also give you the option to either try the feature out, check out where that feature is enabled in the Tools Options menu. So this is a really awesome place to kind of keep up with what's coming out and what's brand new in the feature. A lot of them also have this request for feedback. So if you want to stay engaged with the community, definitely take us up on that and look at the different survey requests that we have there. Once you are kind of all ready to go with your installation, you can go ahead and create a new project. So I'll go File, New Project. I might be going a little too fast there. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get started with a console application. We'll call this one console application 2. And I want to show .NET 8, so I'll go ahead and click on that. And this is going to go ahead and spin up the most basic form of a console app that you can get with C#. And I can go ahead and run that. And I get a new console that prints that out for me, which is perfect. Now, I also want to show a quick way to kind of get started coding as well. And that's with an extension that we'll go ahead and install from the marketplace. I'll go ahead and look for Copilot Chat. And I'll go ahead and download this. And it says that it'll make modifications when Visual Studio window is closed. So I'll go ahead and restart Visual Studio. And you'll see that the V6 installer is getting my extension ready to go and ready to use. So if you're following along in this series, you might have seen GitHub Copilot and GitHub Copilot Chat. There might be some extra steps that you need to do to get these working on your installs because they are subscription-based services. So if that series of steps looks a little bit different for you, you can always check out the latest information and documentation to get started with that. But now that I have that installed, let me go ahead and make sure my credentials are all set up to go. OK. So now that I'm all set and ready to work with my extension, I shouldn't have any kind of prompts here. And I can go ahead and open my GitHub Copilot Chat. And if you haven't used chat before, this is kind of an LLM-based model. It'll be similar to working with Bing Chat, where you can ask it questions about your code. And you can see where the context that it's pulling from via this little outline here. So I'm actually going to ask if it can generate a number guessing game with the console. So let's go ahead and type in that prompt. And let's say taking input from the console. So it's an interactive game. Awesome. So it created a class with a main method. So let me go ahead and copy this over. And I'll go ahead and rename this one to program. And because we always want to double check to make sure our AI generated code is working well, let's go ahead and start that debugger. It's asking me to guess a number, so I'll guess 50. And I can look at my local variables to see how my code is working to see if I'm getting what I expect. And if we continue, the number was too high, which is exactly what we expected from the random number being 40. So that was installing Visual Studio, getting some of your preferences set up, signing in, and getting up and running with your first C# program generated by Copilot Chat. Thanks for watching.